Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a first impression / review of the new Morphe Filter Effects Soft Focus Foundation. I have reviewed their really matte foundation in the past and it was really full coverage, but this is their newest one. So I figured I'd try it out and see if it can cover up all this acne situations that we have going on. So this is supposed to be a medium to full coverage foundation. I have seen nothing but good things about it. When I saw Makeup Shayla in her video, like putting it on her skin, trying it out, it looks very filtered and very nice. So if you guys are interested to see if the new Morphe Filter Effects Soft Focus Foundation can cover up my acne and acne prone skin, it can potentially help cover up your acne and acne prone skin, and if it's worth the money, then just keep on watching. Alright, so we'll do a quick little skin update while we're here. This is what we got. This is actually mostly scarring, if you can believe it. Like if you turn, like it's mostly flat. Also, like that's a scar. These are all mostly scarring as well. I've admittedly been off my nighttime skincare game and routine. I don't know why I have just been falling asleep and I'm just like I have no one to blame but myself for this. Like I keep trying to do retinol, so I'm not doing any of like my active cleansers that have like salicylic acid and stuff like that because I'm trying to do retinol and I just don't want it to be too much. Moral of the story, I keep falling asleep. I just need to be better about my nighttime skincare routine because my daytime one, I'm like so on it, but these past couple of weeks I don't know what's wrong with me. And so I actually bought this online at Ulta and it actually came with the free Filter Effect foundation brush, and this is the E63. So I'm gonna be trying this out today. If you look at it, it's like kind of like a paddle brush almost, but it has like this flat edge. Super cool that they gave a free brush with it, and let's see what this claims to do. I got the shade Light 8, the Morphe Filter Effects Soft Focus Foundation, an oil-free skincare infused foundation that delivers a natural finish for healthy looking skin. That's exciting. This luxe long-wearing formula is designed to blur and diffuse the look of imperfections while deeply hydrating and nourishing the skin. Ooh, crafted in Italy for ultimate soft focus filter effect look, empowered by high-performing skin perfecting ingredients. Medium to full coverage, is buildable and developed across 40 shades for a range of skin tones and undertones. So this comes in 40 shades, and it also has hyaluronic acid and vitamin E in here. Oh, it also has glycerin, which is also a great hydrator in here. It seems like it has like a lot of good skincare ingredients as well, which I'm like excited about, like hydrating ingredients. So this seems different from that, so I'm excited because there's some things I did not like about the Huda foundation, so hopefully this will fix. Also, I like how it's glass packaging, so that's nice. Love that it's a pump. So I'm gonna use brush on one side and then a sponge on the other side. Also, this foundation retails for $20. All right, so let's go ahead and see. So I'm gonna start with the brush. I'm actually excited to use the brush. It feels really soft. Usually I like to use my sweet Jaclyn Hill, like this type of brush. So if you could see, oh, look at that foundation. They're very different. I don't know how it's gonna blend, but we'll see. So I'm gonna pump it out of my hand. I'm starting off with that much in my hand. It actually is like thicker than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more watery and runny. I'm gonna dab it like I do, and we'll see how fast this also dries. And I'm gonna take the Morphe E63 brush. Oh, I kind of like the paddleness of it. It does make it easy to like spread. It makes it easy to get on the nose as well. A little streaky, but nothing crazy. It clings onto dry patches a little bit, but as you blend it out, I think you just gotta blend it out a little quickly, because if you let it sit in one spot, it like clings more, I'm noticing. So this is what we have so far. Definitely medium coverage, a little bit on the lighter side. So, but definitely a lot more covered and evened out than this side so far. So I'm gonna take the rest of this beauty blender now. Also Morphe Beauty Blender. So I'm just gonna put the rest of this on my face, and then I'll probably add more just to see and add a little bit more coverage, and we'll see how buildable it is. But for now, this is the one pump on both sides of my face, and we will go in now with the sponge. It actually dries a little faster than I thought it would, but it doesn't dry. It's still pretty movable, but I guess it's just the texture that I wasn't expecting. So as you can see, it didn't really cover much, but I also think I just need a little bit more foundation. I think there's definitely more on this side than this side, so I'm gonna add a smidge more. And I'm just gonna add a little bit just so it's like even on this side. And the sponge usually has less coverage anyway on me. I will say it does at this time seem pretty buildable, so a lot better. You can still definitely see stuff peeking through and like redness and stuff, but also this is the sponge side, so I was kind of like picturing it to have a little less coverage. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more of this excess on the brush side, and then we'll kind of see what happens there. But it already doesn't like feel super heavy on at least the Beauty Blender side. Also the color is not bad. I was like worried it was gonna be too dark for me maybe, but it seems to be working so far, so that's good. I will be interested to see too when I kind of test it more with my regular brush, if I like it better or not. This brush isn't bad though. I just didn't know what I was really expecting because it's more like I'm just pulling down and not really like blend, like I'm not buffing like I usually do. Yeah, I don't like how it kind of streaks around my nose, so I'll probably go in with a Beauty Blender just to see that. So I'm just gonna go in the sides of my nose because I don't know if you can tell, but it is, since the brush was there. So it's just looking a little streaky up in my little nose area, so I'm just gonna kind of take away that streakiness, and this is looking good. I always like to just bounce around my face and take away any excess foundation so it's not too heavy and sitting on my skin or sinking to the pores. But right now it looks really good actually. So I have been really had dry skin lately, especially like dry breakouts, and right now, so it clings a little bit to dry spots, but my texture doesn't look as bad as it does with like the more full coverage Huda foundation. Like my pores don't look terrible, it's not really sinking in, but the middle in between my eyebrows, that's always usually like kind of like a problem clumpy area. It's still clumpy. This Beauty Blender kind of taken away. I think it just had a little bit too much product, so it doesn't look bad now, but it doesn't look bad, and it doesn't look like it's clinging too much on my dry patches. I actually thought that this was gonna be a little too dark for me. I did see on some people that it does oxidize, but I think this is actually a pretty decent color match. But if you can see, it does cling slightly to dry spots. It doesn't look terrible here. So it's clinging a little bit, but not too crazy. It's not really clinging as crazy as I thought it was, and it's kind of dry patches, so I don't like, with how dry my skin has been just these past couple of days, even with me like extremely trying to hydrate myself, I'm just surprised it's not clinging as bad as it is, and it could be like that vitamin E and hyaluronic acid in here. I do like the luminosity. It doesn't feel super heavy on my skin or anything like that. Yeah, this is definitely a medium coverage foundation, I would say. You could probably build it up to full, but as you guys know, I usually don't like caking on the layers of foundation. I usually like kind of going in with more full coverage concealer and doing it like in specific spots. That way my whole face doesn't just feel super heavy. And I do look pretty blurred as of now. I like how it looks, so that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will be right back and we'll check in how this foundation is holding. I am back. I have all of my makeup on and done. So far, I think it looks really, really good. It does cling a little bit still to like dry patches, but my skin is a little bit on the drier side lately. But if you do have dry skin, just keep this in mind. So even with the hyaluronic acid and stuff, it is still really clinging, but we'll see how it wears throughout the day. But as far as the filter effect of it, I love it. I just don't feel like right here where my pores are, I feel like I look so smooth. I did put on a full coverage foundation or concealer on top of the foundation to try to cover up some marks, but so I do still have some marks peeking through like these two, but those are actually more like little scabs. My skin is head of time, but this side looks fine, and it just looks pretty good and covered and like pretty nice. But I feel like it looks like my skin looks really perfected. If I zoom in, like right here, looks so good. Even right here, it's not really sinking in. So that I'm really happy with, that it looks like that smooth and that perfected, because when I was wearing the Huda foundation, I could tell immediately, and it's only been like at the same amount of time, but it was right here, like it was really sinking into my texture. It just didn't look as filter effect and smooth as I'm seeing with this one, which is really nice. And I think my makeup laid well on top of it, and it doesn't look super drying. I did set it with like matte powder and stuff like I always do, but overall right now I really like it, and I am impressed with it, and it's much cheaper than the Huda one. So I'm gonna go ahead with the rest of my day, hang out, eat some food, and I will check back in with you guys later. Alright guys, so it is time to wrap up my review on the Morphe Filter Effects Soft Focus Foundation. Been wearing this foundation for the past week or so, and I have loved it. Absolutely loved it. It has been great. I'm wearing it today, and I just feel like I look so smooth and poreless, and this is a beautiful foundation. It is super lightweight. You can really build it up. It really does have that medium coverage. It doesn't really have full coverage, I will say that, but I think you can build it up a little bit, but it just feels so lightweight on the skin, which is amazing. It really looks blurring like pores who. Where are they? Don't even know. It is amazing. I think the color match is pretty good too. I got Filter Light 8. I just have been loving it so far. I took this, I went snowboarding and I wore it all day and it held up really well, except around my nose area. It did come off, but I was also wearing like a mask and stuff. So, you know, like pulling it up and down. And then also like I was getting like windburn on my nose. If you've been snowboarding or like skiing or anything, like sometimes that happens. Other than that, it had really good coverage and it stayed throughout the day. And if it did fade, even though it faded in those spots, it still all looked really even on my face. The only thing I will say is the pump. Like if you can see that, it kind of leaks at the top, which is a little weird, but nothing too crazy. It is very soft focus. It does give me that blurred effect. This does what I wanted the Huda Beauty foundation to do, you know, that flawless blurred effect. This is what it gives me. It does not emphasize my texture at all, like in the slightest. It just looks so good. It's a really good everyday foundation. It's not gonna give you that like glam look. It looks really good, and I think you can maybe build this up so you can look pretty snatched, but I just love this for an everyday foundation. It reminds me very similar to the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation. It's very similar. It's not as glowy and kind of lightweight as that, but they're very similar. I don't even know how to explain it, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. And this is $20 where the Huda one was $40, so it's just such a better price point, so much more affordable, and I really have been loving it. Again, it's just that medium to full coverage. I really think you can get it to that full coverage, and it is dewy, it is luminous, but it's not like, I don't look like an oil slick at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like it still looks really nice. It doesn't give you like an oil slick. I have oily skin and I still have really been enjoying this foundation. For sure been my favorite so far in 2021. The year just started, and I think it's totally worth it, and it is 20 bucks. It's not that bad. It does all its claims. This will be staying with me. I'm going to continue to wear it, and most importantly, it has not broken me out, which is amazing. 10 out of 10 from me. I highly recommend this foundation if you've been looking at it. Totally worth the hype so far. I'll do one last zoom in so you can see. Like it's crazy, like pores who. But that is it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Morphe Filter FX Soft Focus Foundation. Let me know down in the comments below if you are going to be checking this foundation out. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Have you tried any other new foundations? I would love to know. And if you're interested in any other foundation reviews, I have a curated playlist here. I've tried quite a bit, so if you want to go ahead and binge and see all my other love it's and hate it's and just thoughts on other foundations, go ahead and click this playlist here. Or if you want some more skincare related content, we got some videos right here, and I will see you there in the next video.